Welcome once again to Marriage Without Tears channel. It's my pleasure to interact with you once again. If you're a married woman out there or you're intending to get married, this is a special edition for you. We are discussing today the 12 things a woman must do if she desires to experience joy and marital happiness. If she actually desires to experience great success, I'm talking of limitless success in her marriage. If she actually desires to have her husband eating from her palms on a daily basis, I am going to list out the 12 things you must do. And as you begin to practice these things, you will see that there will be lesser arguments and conflicts with your spouse at any given time. So I want you to actually pay attention to this edition. The counsel I'm going to give you right now comes from almost 20 years of counseling experience and almost about 30 years of being a husband and a father. I am giving you an advice that if you take it to heart, I can tell you that the same success I'm experiencing in my marriage, you will also experience greater, far greater than what I'm doing right now in your own marriage. So listen to me attentively. 12. The first thing a woman must do is to discover and be able to interpret her husband's love language. Very, very important. You have heard so many people say, oh, the way to a man's heart is his stomach. But I tell you that it's not like that with every man. To some people, it may be their stomach. To some people, it may be sex. To some people, it may be just talking to them, respectfully. To some people, it may be so many other things. So find out what makes your husband happiest, what gives him so much joy about you. There is something your husband, when he gets that from you, he feels edified, he feels loved, he feels internally accepted. If you can discover that thing and you begin to work on it, I can tell you that that man will be there for you all the time in good and bad seasons. So find out, be able to interpret your husband's love language and supply it to him. Very, very important. The second thing a woman must do if you desire to have quality marriage, a successful marriage, is to be able to, speak to your husband responsibly. What do I mean by that? Let kindness, let compassion, let love flow through your word. Whether it is a written word, whether it is a spoken word, in any manner of communication, let it be at the back of your mind that the person you are communicating with is your partner for life, is someone that God has brought out of a whole lot of men in the world to partner with you in the joy of life. That person is possibly the father of your children. So you have something going together. You should not nag him. You should not use acerbic words on him. You must treat him, speak to him responsibly. Don't undermine his authority at any point in time when you are speaking to him. Worse still, don't ever talk down on him in the presence of strangers. So learn how to communicate responsibly with your husband. Communicate with him at the right time with the right choice of words. Very, very important. If you can do that as a woman, that man will treasure you continually. I can tell you that. The third thing that is very important for a woman to do is to realize that she has come into that marriage to help the man to fulfill his assignment. There's a God-given assignment to that man. So find out more about that man's career or profession. Be interested in what he's doing for a living, so that when you make suggestions to him as to how to elevate what he's doing, you'll be making a very responsible suggestion. You will be making a very valuable suggestion. So, but if you don't know what he's doing for a living, or you don't care about what he's doing for a living, how can you now help him to improve on his life? It's very, very important, because a man marries a woman to help him to improve on his life, to help him become a better man. The one way that you can make him a better man is to be interested in what he does for a living. Is he a teacher? Is he a builder? Is he an engineer? Is he a doctor? What does he do for a living? Are you interested? Show interest in it and be able to offer valuable advice on the way he can improve in whatever he's doing. It's very, very important. If you can do that to a man, that man will always consider you a valuable ally. I can tell you that. The fourth thing that you must do if you want to have your man all the time, don't give any excuses for sex. Sex is very, very important to any man. I can tell you that with all my heart. When we are talking about love language, I say if a woman loves a man but gives him unnecessary reasons why she cannot be in bed with him, then that love leaves a whole lot to be desired. So please, sexual intercourse is very important. Don't give him unnecessary excuse. And when you are having sex with him, let your mind and all your attention be on how to satisfy one another. Very, very important. Because if you are doing it as a duty of love instead of for enjoyment, if you can only have sex simply because you want to procreate, you want to have more children, then you are missing a very valuable aspect of sex. Sex is meant to, lubricate the entire relationship. So don't give unnecessary excuses. I've found women who say, oh, I am sick, I am tired, I have so much work, I am not in the mood, this, that. At the end of the day, when the man feels so pressed, you see him straying outside of his marital vows. And before you know it, you begin to blame him for doing that, not knowing that you are the one that gave a crack for the enemy to enter. So don't give unnecessary excuses when it comes to sex. A man values sex so much. And I want you to put that also in your list of 12. Before I go on to the 5th one, I will like you to look at the red button by my side, click on it, and get subscribed. And be part of this family. This is Marriage Without Tears. Let's go to the 5th point. The 5th point, of course, as a woman, I want you to learn how to cook good meals. So many people don't know how to prepare good meals. They leave everything to their housemates or their house helps. And at the end of the day, the young woman is just doing she can only prepare a little bit. If you know how to prepare quality meals for your husband, he will hardly eat outside. Because sometimes why men eat outside is because what they are getting inside is of lesser value. Why men eat outside is because they discover that somehow you cannot meet their, the kind of food they want. Sometimes also there are women who you can give them all the money in the world, and yet they cannot give you a good meal. If you are such a woman, please take out time, go to the nearest, catering school and learn how to cook good meals. Very, very important. It doesn't matter how many house helps you have, but you need to understand how to cook good meals. When you are able to prepare good meals at manageable cost, I must underline that word, at manageable cost, it makes a whole lot of difference in your home. It's also an opportunity for you to teach your younger ones, your daughters, how to prepare good meals when they also get married to their husbands in future. So learn how to cook good meals. If you can take care of that, your husband will always be there for dinner and breakfast. I can tell you that. And of course, the 6th one is that you must learn how to lend a helping hand to your husband. That is where so many women default. Many women feel that, it is the man's responsibility to pay school fees for the children. It is responsibility to pay house rent. It is responsibility to maintain the car. It is responsibility to provide food. They see all of that as the man's responsibility. And of course, while that man is groaning under the burden of that responsibility, the woman is busy buying jewelries and buying fancy clothes with her own money. It doesn't make good sense. Because at the end of the day, if that man falls under that burden, I have seen so many men lose their lives, collapse because of stress. I can tell you that same burden that you put on your shoulders and you refuse to help him will eventually come upon your shoulders. That's why you find so many women, once their husband dies, see them about 1 or 2 years, you can hardly recognize the same woman. So why don't you help the man balance up? Why don't you help the man fulfill some certain obligations, especially if you discover that it's becoming problematic to him? Lend a helping hand. A man wants a woman that lends him a helping hand. You are there to support him. You are not there to just live an independent life. You are no longer single. You are married and you are in a destiny with your husband. So learn how to help him to fulfill purpose. Very, very important. I know you have been enjoying this very particular production, and a lot of us have been edified by some of the lessons we are learning here. The most important thing is not just hearing it, but internalizing it and making the lessons we are learning part of our blueprint for life. As a woman out there, from number 1 to number 6 had been wonderful, but I want you to look forward to number 7 to number 12, which we are going to bring out by next week. All you need to do is click on this red button, get subscribed immediately so that you become part of the full edition from number 1 to number 12. These are guiding lights to a glorious marriage. If you can actually do them, I can tell you that all manner of arguments, all manner of conflicts will simply disappear in your marriage. And you and your husband will live and fulfill purpose to the glory of God. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please, like I said, click on this red button and let's do this again. Thank you very much and have an awesome time. God bless you.